What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video I'm going to talk about two different cryptos. As you can probably tell by the title, I don't know what the title is yet. I'm just starting this video, but it'll be something about Zcash and Dash. We're going to talk about Zcash first and then Dash afterwards. The purpose of this video is to give an accurate price prediction for both in the short term, near term prospects. Hit that like button, subscribe. Let's get into it. Okay, it is the 20th day of November, and here we are sitting at about $701 now for Zcash. Again, Dash will come after this. Everybody was max bearish. They thought the run was over for Zcash, and we were literally bullish beyond all belief at these lows here, you guys. We were literally, I thought the low, to be completely fair, was this day. I thought it was this day. I mean, what a massive recovery you had, right? You dropped down so much and then recovered that very next day. Of course, I thought that was the low, but we were wrong a little bit there. However, regardless of this low, that low, whatever, we were bullish the whole time. Very confident the price would come back up, and now I think it's increasingly obvious that we will, in fact, break out of this to the upside. I'm really wondering, I really am wondering, I don't want to get myself in trouble or anybody else in trouble by saying this, but I'm really wondering if we go above 930. Because my thought here was that we'd get some kind of like double top higher high, and maybe we get, maybe it's not a double top here, maybe it's like a slightly higher high here. But what if we're consolidating like this, just like we did last time, basically, and now we go on another run that is of an equivalent size? Well, what if we did? I mean, that equivalent size right there would take us all the way up, whoops, to this, it won't let me, there we go, now it grabs. It'll take us all the way up to this purple line, which is the 3618, the triple golden extension. Not saying that that's a significant level that we have to respect. I'd be very surprised if we just pushed all the way up through that, but it is something to consider. For the first time in a while, we might be considering targets that are above $1,000, and even to such a degree that is like 16 to 1700. Now, to be completely fair, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, I wouldn't bank on this. It is something that we can consider, and again, I think the consideration really comes from the fact that this consolidation phase that we're in right now lines up pretty well with this one here. Okay, it would make sense that we could see a move that is similar to represent that, to represent the breakout, but we are on a weekly time frame. We are very overbought. We're like over 95 right now. We have a bit of a double top in the RSI. It's not that we can't go higher, we can, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if we did stop somewhere between, I mean, really here and $930. I don't know if we break 1,000. Looking at this on the crypto chart, but it is something to address nonetheless. It is possible, and we'll know. Let's actually go over what it would take for me to be convinced that we do go to 1,600. I mean, I suppose what it would take is, it might be too late by that time. I don't know if I like that. I was going to say 2 weeks closing above 755. If we get 2 weeks to close above this in a row without any serious divergence or signs of turning around, then maybe we do continue up to 1,600. I don't know. Let's just see. Let's see. High to low here. Minimum target would be 2,600. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to stop at 16. High to low here. The 1272 is right here at 877. It makes a lot of sense to stop there, but if we were to go higher, typically with the 1414, you don't stop right at it. You actually wick just above it, and right there, wicking just above it, that's 1,600. It's something to consider, right? So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. While I've been very, very, very adamant since we were below $200 even, like since this level, I've been very adamant that we would go to this level and that this is a good area to sell. There is a scenario where we do run up to 1,600. Now, I do want to talk about that a little bit more. I know we've been focusing on this, but I want to talk about it because if it happens, imagine that you're like me, or imagine that you're somebody who sells between, you know, $800 and $930, somewhere around this line. Imagine you sell here and the price goes up to 1,600. You're going to miss out on what is roughly about a 78% pump, okay? I don't know what your story is when you got in, but you'd be missing out on a 78% pump if you sold this line right here, which is the target area that we have in mind, which is somewhere between about 870 and 930. That really is the target area that we have in mind. So that's on the lower end of that target range. An 80% pump from there, you might miss it. But if you're patient, let's imagine we do in this crazy chaotic world rally all the way up to $1,600 for Zcash. You would likely see anything from a standard minimum healthy correction would be about, for something like this, would probably be like 40% to potentially 70%. Right? Typically it's 30 to 60, but after a move like this, 40 to 70 is expected. So let's say 40%. if it drops 40%, you would likely pull back right to the same areas that you sold. So even if you sell here and the price goes higher, you have a second chance of buying back virtually at the same price. Okay. And that's just the minimum standard. What if we dropped 60% from there, or 70% from there, right? Or more? You can see some crazy stuff. It's fairly common to go from your 1414 area back to your 1272 for support, or even down to your 100, 786, 886 area for support as well. Okay. Screw the percentage decay. That's just very common fib structure behavior. So something to mention there. Especially you get these big swings, especially whenever you have huge moves like this, right? Like that's a 20x, 30x, 40x move in a couple months time. That demands some big swings typically. So again, the thought here that I'm trying to illustrate is that maybe we do go to 1600. I would still sell at 870 personally. 870, 900, 930, somewhere around there, 850, whatever. And then I wouldn't look back. I wouldn't look back. Who cares if it goes to 1600? It'll come back down. It'll likely come back down right to this area, if not lower. Okay. But then also, again, statistically speaking, we're talking about 1600 as if it's going to happen. I would say it's most likely. The most likely outcome is that we don't go to 1600. The most likely, and in time we will, just not by the end of this move. The most likely outcome, in my opinion, is that we stop here at this level, because again, the 1272 has very significant resistance here. From a high to a low, that's the top of our money zone based off of this retracement here. I could draw it on there, I just don't want to. There's a lot of significance in this area, so I think we're going to have a hard time pushing much past $900. We might not even do that, and somewhere around there, we'll find resistance 870 to 930, and then likely pull back to prices that are below $300, even below $400, if not below $300 at the most, and then find support. I do expect that Zcash has more to rally. I think that's going to happen very soon, but I do expect that after we top off here, wherever it is that we top off, we will likely consolidate for the remainder of 2025. Okay. Likely when Zcash, and again, this is a going theory that I have, when Zcash really is done with this move, when it really starts to consolidate, at this consolidation point, that's when I theorize that alt season begins, that the rest of the market rallies. I think Zcash is the secret sauce to that. Okay, Zcash. Let's talk about Dash now. Actually, first and foremost, I do want to look at some indicators. Just want to see, make sure I'm not missing anything. I don't think I am. I don't think I'm missing anything. Okay, cool. Yeah, I stand by everything that I've said. Dash USD. Looking at this here. Shout out to the Dash people. I should have said this during the Zcash part, because I've said it over the past couple of days. If you're looking to invest in Zcash, why not invest in Dash? I think Dash is at a much better price. You're literally, where at Zcash, you're at points of resistance. Dash, you're literally at points of support. Prior resistance for support. Prior support for support. You're at a perfect area to buy, right? We're at $77 now. And I know. For the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, we've been bullish on Dash. We were also very bullish on it here, right? And we said here, yeah, we could pull back. I think we even said we could pull back to $71, didn't we? And that's exactly like where we went to. I think I said we would not go below $71. We went down to 72. So really, volatility implied, like we actually nailed this pretty well. And we called the low and the high perfectly. I'm expecting that we're going to see this next high be around, anything from just under $300 to maybe even around $400. That's the expectation. Probably closer to like 3 to 380, somewhere in there. We'll see. But again, Dash, if you're looking to invest in Zcash, Dash is just, it's at such a better price, because imagine Zcash from its current valuation of about 700, it goes up to 1600 like we forecasted. Well, from the current price, that's about 100% move. It's a little bit over 100% move, right? From the current price, what is that? Let's just see. Hold on. From the current price is like 115%. 126% move. That's if we see this crazy move that's unexpected but somewhat expected. It could happen, maybe. Most probable, you stop at best somewhere around like a 30%, 40% move from here. Dash, and at its best, it's like 120, 130% for Zcash. Dash, at a minimum, like at a bare bones minimum, I think is going to pull something that's like 300% or more from here. 280 or more from here. That's my expectation. So, and again, versus Zcash, Zcash is pressing prior areas of resistance. There's no guarantee that Zcash goes higher. It's like here in this pattern, maybe it's a double top and it rejects down. Dash, however, is finding support right at prior areas of resistance. It's seen a massive drop already. It's ready to go. Very good area to enter, I think. Looking at the short-term stuff, let's look at the 1 hour time frame and then we'll zoom out from there. 1 hour time frame here. The RSI is in a bit of an uptrend. Hold on. Turn that down. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but if you can, I'm sorry. I didn't notice that until just now. It's a silly show. I don't even know if you guys can hear it. $78.2 right now on the 1 hour time frame. We've got higher lows in the chart in the RSI, higher highs in the chart as well. Looks like we're in a bit of an uptrend, right? Higher highs, higher lows here. So I would expect that we do bounce. We probably do move higher starting now. By the time you watch this video, anybody holding Dash will probably be above 78 bucks. I really do think Dash is a great investment right now, especially for short-term gains. It's not a great investment if you're selling your cryptos at a loss, putting it in here. I don't think it's a great investment. I think it's a good investment if you've got dry powder or some type of capital that you're looking to put into something new. This is a very good short-term play. 1 hour time frame looks great. The stochastics look great. The MACD looks great. All of it suggests that we have higher to go. We probably don't go lower from here, probably being the keyword. The MACD here crossed above the zero, only to cross back below it. But sometimes, even though you've crossed below it, this is still an area to find support at. The zero is not a respected line directly. Sometimes you find support just below, like here, just below, here, just below. You found resistance just above, found support here, just below. So it happens. This is a better area to find support, if anything, in my opinion. And you had some bullish divergence coming into these lows here. You've had that move already, but I do think we move higher. Looking at this low to a high. Come on, come on, come on. Low to high golden ratio bounce. What I don't like is that we found resistance at the 382. I'd like us to get above the 382. $85, when we get above there on a 4 hour closing basis or a daily closing basis, when we get above $85, that validates that this is the low, that validates that we're going higher. Okay, so understand, if by the end of today, Dash closes above $85, and I think it will, if not by the end of today, soon enough, then it's basically inevitable that we see prices back above these levels here. We're probably going to go above $200 with that, okay? Which is pretty cool, actually. That's a pretty cool thought because you don't even have to buy here. Imagine Dash closes above $85 today. We're at $90, or maybe it's tomorrow or next week or whatever. You know, at that point, we're likely, the statistical probability that we take out this high is there. We're likely going to go well above 200. With that, you have over 100% returns, and you don't even have to buy right here. You can wait for it to pump like 10, 20% first. I don't know. I think that's nice whenever you have moments like that. The RSI is finding higher lows as well. We've got higher lows here. Nice to see. Rejecting the 60, not so nice, but that's okay. I mean, you're still postured well overall. You broke out of your downtrend. You're getting overbought, not getting oversold, bouncing off the 40. We like to see it. MACD, again, I think looks good. And the stochastics kind of suggest that we could go lower. But with that being said, we are also at an area that you find support at, so a little dicey there. Hard to say. 2 minutes left in this 4 hour candle. We're not getting much off it. I would guess that we move higher, but if I'm wrong and we move lower, I'm very confident. I can't express enough how confident I am that we do not go below 61.60. We probably don't go below 62 bucks. If we go lower, we probably hold anything from $69 to $65 as support. We might just go to $69 for the meme of 69 itself and then rally afterwards, okay? But again, if it was me, my expectation is not that we go down to this level. My expectation is we probably move higher from here based off of the shorter term time frames that I'm seeing. But again, it is possible if we do go lower, $69 to $62, $65, somewhere in that range might be where we find support. Dash on the daily. Hold on. Looking at the daily time frame here, the RSI does have lower lows. The price does have higher lows. That's hidden bullish divergence. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. The RSI here is finding support at the 50 with higher lows here and higher lows in the price. The stochastics are bouncing off the zero, or off the 20, off the oversold zone. That's nice to see. And the MACD, no bullish divergence, but building, I should say, decaying bearish momentum. And overall, you're very bullish. I mean, the oscillators being above the zero, you're very, very bullish. I think you're ready to go. You're just waiting, man. I mean, mark my words. Here, you see this? How this is like a 1, 2, 3. Don't we all wish we were holding Dash from here to here, right? Now it's just been boring. We're gonna have a phase just like this in the next week or so. By the end of the month, absolutely. We should. I would very much expect that Dash. I mean, it's the 20th now, so we've got 10 days left in this month. I would expect that we're above $240 by the end of the month. We look at this here from a high and the perceived low. We technically haven't validated this low yet, but from this high to this perceived low, man, with this actually, I'm going to get distracted real quick. I think the next target would really be like a 123 to 135. Consolidate there, pull back, and then we're probably really, you're not going to see this move here, like this next kind of move up, until we're above $135, $140. Okay, so until then, just keep in mind, it doesn't have to be a straight shot up. It can be rather methodical. We can kind of work our way, and then eventually when we bust that, that's when this kind of larger, faster move will happen. Once we see consistent day closes above $135, $140 there. But when we do move up, again, 123, 135 might be the immediate next target area. When we move up, I'm considering that we go anywhere and everywhere between about 260 at a minimum, maybe even up to as high as like $500 at a maximum, somewhere in this range. I'm going to leave that range there, and we're going to refine it as time goes on. Okay, we're going to refine it as this video progresses. Hold on. So something around, let's just say 500, screw it. And then we'll put it right here at the golden ratio as well. I would go all the way up to 6. Maybe we can put 6 on there as an honorable mention, but I don't know if we go that high. We'll see. I think we will in time, but I just don't know if this next phase of this move goes all the way up here and then we top off and consolidate, right? I think more likely we'll be somewhere in this zone here with this next move. That's my thoughts so far. Okay, we'll just change the color of this one so we know it's different. Did that sound racist? We're going to change the color, make sure that we know this one's different. Let's see here. Looking at the weekly time frame, let's do that. Yes, maybe the monthly. Yeah, because Dash is so old. We've actually got that. So the minimum target there, again, your golden ratio extension puts you here at prior areas of resistance and prior support. It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me that we could stop at 260. From a high here to a low down here, that's right by your golden ratio, which is really at like 287. So with this, from a high to a low, I would think if you reach all the way up here, even though this is your golden ratio extension based off of your more relative fib, I would think that it's okay to shave this up a little bit. Maybe we wick just a little bit above it. So 287, I think, is a good target. That's your golden ratio right there. We take a high to a low here, and that also lines up with your 1886200 level. The next level that really comes into view would be the 2272, and typically you do go just above there. Which if we did go just above there, that comes in line again with that same 2272 area of the high to low extension here. This high to low extension right here. Take away all the noise, right? The high to low extension here gave us a 2272 target. That was all the way up where this one is, right? Typically you go just above it. Might we go to $500? Well, that is also right where prior resistance is. I'm going to refine this a little bit more. I actually like that $500 level. Now there is a scenario where we could push higher, where you could go all the way up through the golden ratio and to the 786. Man, this is wild. This is actually kind of wild here. Hold on, because I really wasn't thinking we could go to $600, but to be completely fair in the way that I do analysis, we didn't interact with the 0.5. We got very close. The times, and I'm focusing on this for a reason, because the times that you do break through the golden ratio on the first attempt and you just go right up to the 786, 886 zone are the times when you interact with this 0.5 area. Now, an interaction with the 0.5 doesn't necessarily mean that you have to touch it. Being this close to it is good enough, in my opinion. You went from your 0.5 and down. I would still say the statistical probability is that we find resistance at the golden ratio, but maybe there's more of a chance with this setup than there normally would be that we could go to the 786. Just be open-minded, Dash. Anywhere from, right now, what the established range is that we have is something between about 290, 280 to $500. That's the given range that we have, right? That's what we're theorizing you're going to do. This next move is going to stop there. But be open-minded. We really could go up to 633 because, again, that level lines up very well with your 786, which is a possibility as well. It doesn't make as much sense on the price, but there are some fibs that line up with that. It makes sense to that degree in that regard. So I would think still 290, 400, somewhere in there, 290, 500. It'd be more likely that we stop in the golden ratio, not outside of it. So I'm going to refine this down a little bit more. I think that we would stop somewhere between $290 and $400 personally. We're at $77 now. This could very well happen, as crazy as it sounds, by the end of this month of November. We could be up another 270 to 410% over the next 10 days. And don't tell me we can't. Don't tell me we can't, man, because if we take this again, we take this little 270 right there, that's basically what we did here. We did this. I'm not even putting it at the low. Let me put it right there at the low. Come on now. Come on. Right there at this low. And the high, it's almost perfect. And we did that in the course of 5 days. We got 10 days left. Don't tell me we can't be at $290 to $400 by the end of this month. We absolutely can be. And again, this move, I theorize whenever we break out, we probably stop here, we consolidate back, find support here, and then we continue to rally. But if I'm wrong, maybe we do push all the way up to 633, at which case we still probably pull back to this area to find support, and then we move up higher. So even if you make the wrong decision and you sell here, it'll likely come back to you. You'll be able to buy back, and we'll go higher. Also, with that being said, statistically speaking, whenever you do rip through the golden ratio, typically you do pull back down to this area still. Just to be fair. Anyways, I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Expecting big things out of Zcash and Dash in the short term. But if I had to choose between which one to invest in, I'd probably choose Dash. Yeah, no competition there. Take care. Bye-bye. See you later.